What's going on, everybody? I wanted to make a quick strategy video for Conquest. As you can see, it starts up again in a little over 4 days. And I want to make sure you all are getting the best rewards possible. So let's talk about that. The rewards. Let's start right where it all matters. If you qualify for hard, you should definitely be doing hard. I think everyone has seen now that the rewards in hard are better, but what I want to focus on is if you're in that 4 million GP, 4 to 5 million GP range, or even if you have, 2 to 3 solid teams and at least one light side and one of them being dark side, you have a pretty good chance at, following this strategy on getting some of these top rewards. And when I say top rewards, really we're looking for the last 2 crates, right? Because those are the ones that have the Relic 8 pieces and, even the Relic 7 pieces, which are awesome, especially if you're free to play and you're new. These are hard to get resource heavy things. So if we can get these, for free by grinding out and getting these, one of the top 2 crates, we're going to set ourselves up for a lot of success into the future. So let's do a quick little review of my past Conquest, and then we'll dive into a couple other things. So first off, when Conquest first rolled out, I was okay with it. But as I started climbing and getting better and better rewards, I started really enjoying this event because I finally got that second highest crate this last time. And, getting those Relic 8 pieces felt very, very satisfying. So I'll bring it up. So as you can see, here's the crate for it. I got basically the bare minimum for this. I had about 8 hours left. I played around. I got a few more after this, but obviously I'm never going to get that red crate. Like, getting all those feats done is so hard, but I think we can easily get the hard 0-6 crate. And why it's so critical, right? We're getting a decent amount of Ahsoka shards and Razor Crest shards, and then we're getting that, that juicy Relic 8 piece, and then we're getting the Relic 7, and then all the other cool stuff and gear and stuff like that that's going to help. So this is definitely going to help us level up our characters, free to play. And this is one of the only ways to get some of these pieces. It's very vital to try and hit this reward crate level. Strategy on how I got there this previous time. First off, the data discs are obviously random, and it's going to be a little bit different for everybody every time. So let me just kind of highlight the ones I used this run through. Again, these were a lot are kind of similar to what I've used in the past, but I've kind of tweaked it a little bit more, and some of them never came up that I used in the past that I like. So this time around, I used stacking offense, right? So a lot of teams are buff heavy. When you're getting those buffs, you're getting more and more offense, and you're able to defeat some of these super powerful teams on defense. Offensive buffs, obviously it's great. You start off stacking your offense, right? And then not only that, but you actually have the buffs itself. If the defensive buffs one you get, that's a great one too. I never got it this time around. No defensive buffs. Turn meter, this one right here is very, very critical. Whenever you get a buff, you also gain 2.5 turn meter. So this is kind of turn meter loading you right from the get-go. When you get your turn, right, the buffs come up and then the turn meter is coming. This time around, I was playing around with Entrenched. So again, it's protection up. I also found it helped in some of the beginnings of the battles, which I'll touch on in a moment why that was important. And Ruthless Swiftness, right? So this is the other turn meter one. If you're able to get someone underneath that 100% health, getting that big turn meter gain, and this is how you can get out ahead of some of these ridiculous teams with like the over-prepared level 3 and whatnot. And then finally, I personally use Leader's Resolve, and I would recommend anyone to try this one, especially if you don't have those super high-end teams. And let me tell you why. A lot of times you might start a battle and you might not even get a turn in yet, and you're completely wiped out, right? Teams like CLS is good because Han can shoot first. If you get a guy under 100% health, right, then you trigger that turn meter gain. Gas starts with the taunt, so he can take it, on the chin. But my dark side team, I was using, what I was working best was I was using a Vader lead coupled with this leader resolve, and I was able to outspeed and start with Merciless Massacre to get out ahead. If I was using something like Thrawn lead or Palpatine lead, I wasn't fast enough. I could not get out, and my team would get hammered right off the get-go. So until I have, a Galactic Legend or maybe better constructed teams, this leader's resolve really, really helped. It also helps. I find one of the better teams I've used is Padme. My Padme is already fast to begin with, so using this gets her out the gate pretty quick. So it's definitely a benefit from my perspective to have at least one leader's resolve data disk in your equipped. So let's talk about how we go through these sectors. So you can see here's mine, right? Almost at all of sector 1, almost at all of sector 2. Sector 3 was pretty good, and then sector 4 and 5 are pretty significant drop off. So that goes to show you I only did that much and was still able to get the second highest crate. I was able to finish all the sectors and all the nodes, right? Like I was able to defeat Kylo, so I was able to get through all of them with those data discs I've showed. So let's talk about the feats, and some of these I had to use crystal refreshes to get done. I probably used 3 or 4 crystal refreshes to get some more attempts, and let me talk about why. For example, the thermal detonator feat. My bounty hunter team was incapable of beating anyone in the sector with that feat. Luckily, you don't actually have to win the battle, you just have to apply the thermal detonators. So I found I think it was the Mon Mothma battle, I was able to actually survive the longest with my bounty hunter team and at least get a couple chucks with Dengar out there. But I might have had to play that same battle like 9, 10, 11, 12 times throughout the thing to get that feat knocked off. So you definitely need those crystal refreshes, because while I'm wasting time with my bounty hunters and stuff like that, you also got to be pushing to the end, right, with your better teams to also complete the conquest. So it's a little bit of a balancing of trying to have some side teams, aren't good enough but can get the feats done, and then using your good teams to actually work your way through everything. So find that right balance. So if you're a little bit underpowered like me, you might need to pay a little bit more crystals to get a couple more cracks at it, but it's definitely worth it to get the higher rewards. All right, so let's talk about what to do with the actual currency you get. There is a lot of videos out there how people say, save it up, buy Ahsoka, and after 3 conquests, whatever, you can unlock her. Yeah, that's great and all, but unless she's going to insert into your Galactic Legends Obi-Wan team and you need her to maintain, a top 10 of your squad arena, who cares? I would recommend using that currency on getting more, relic pieces or get something that's important to getting your roster ahead that you can't easily get other places, right? So I use mine on these Relic 7 cards. The first time through, I bought Ahsoka and the Razor Crest, but I'm like, what am I doing? I'm like, if I unlock the Razor Crest 7 stars next week, I'm still not using it in my fleet. And even if I get Ahsoka, I'm probably not technically. I'm running gas in Squad Arena. She's not going to get used. Sure, she might be great in GAC, but do I really need to unlock her before everyone else at my level? Probably not. I think I'll just be fine. So I'd rather get the materials to make my current characters better than to race and get, the new ship or the new character. Because guess what? Getting the second highest crate, I'm getting a decent chunk of it too. So I might be, 2, maybe 3 conquests behind. That's still pretty damn good. So just one last thing. I just want to show you the roster I use to get this, so then you have an idea where you stand yourself, if whether or not you can make this work and challenge for that second highest crate. So I'll show you the main squads I use, right? Let's go Galactic Republic first. I have Gas, a team, and Padme. I use them quite a bit, and actually Padme lead with, the Gas, the, Kenobi, C-3PO, and maybe Jedi Knight Anakin ends up being one of my better teams. It's definitely good if you get stuck behind those Retribution Galactic Republic lineups. Padme with the heal helps tremendously there, and Padme just in general with the heal and her leader ability helps you get maximum, like the full 3 key cards when you're beating those nodes. So Padme is definitely a great team to have. Obviously gas is a staple, and gas is well needed. And then Rebels are great. As I mentioned before, Han with his shoot first can really get that turn meter train going. So here's my Rebel squad here. I pretty much use the standard one, you know, Luke, Chewie, Han. C-3PO gets a lot of use because he's in the Padme lineup too. And Chupio, where is he? He's down here, so Relic 5. So that team I use a lot. And then the only other one, so those are the 3 teams I use to beat all the hardest ones, whether it's the Malak lineups or the Galactic Legends. Those are the ones who get it done. Just because you need dark side wins, I use a Sith team. I can basically, again, how I mentioned, I use Vader because of the speed advantage, and with the leader's resolve, so, and it boosts up his culling blade and everything. So I'll use a Vader lead with Revan, Palpatine, and then Thrawn, and then TIE Pilot, Bastila, like it depends on the battle, Gideon. I throw one of those stragglers in there on that team, and that's good enough. I could win. I can't win every node with them, but it's good enough to get wins. And again, I got to use those refreshes and stuff like that. Just I got to keep throwing them at, you know, lesser levels to get those dark side battle complete and the Sith battles complete for those feats. So really that's it. I use those 4 teams. Those 4 teams alone I can beat all the nodes. And then, you know, you need a bounty hunter lineup with Dengar for the thermal detonators. And I don't even have a first order lineup. I use Jedi Knight Revan with Grandmaster Yoda in it, and I'll target a first order team on defense, and I will steal advantage from them for that feat. So Yoda is essentially my advantage machine. So you can get by. You know, if I had a Relic 7 Malak, that'd be great to have, but I don't have it. So you can definitely get by without. So again, no Galactic Legends, no Relic 7 Malak, able to get that second highest crate. So that's all I'll say on that. I hope this helped. Let me know in the comments what data discs are working for you, and I'll see you on the next video.